welcome to another episode of Thought OPPS. I am one of your hosts. My name is Steel Biz. We got the other host over there. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's up, y'all? It's EJ Briz. I was trying to think of another tagline, but I couldn't think of nothing that quick. But I'm gonna go back to your favorite host of this show. It's EJ Briz. Hope everybody had a wonderful, positive week. I didn't, but hope you did. And today we have a guest.
We have a special guest today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
What's up, man? I'm Chad Critelli, a.k.a. Tellichubby.
Yes, he is very talented. Tellichubby. Yes, very talented young man. Make sure we had to get him on the show today because he is one of the princes of filming in the city. Mm-hmm. He does great work.
Visuals dope.
Visuals is dope. Professional looking. Yeah. Just like amazing. He's been schooled, graduated from Cleveland State University with a degree in journalism and also a degree in filming and a couple of other things. So PR, public relations.
Yeah. That's where you make the money. Not film.
Yeah. So but have to make sure that we brought him on the show.
Hey, hold on, you gave him more compliments you give me.
Because you don't do much.
You're supposed to be the favorite host.
He's trying to.
Hey, y'all still love me.
He's trying to feed that to everybody.
Y'all still love me.
But that's not working out in his favor. So my week was okay. I had a decent week.
Well, that's good, man.
We finally chose all the characters for Resentment. Yeah. So
we got a special character too.
We chose all the main characters for Resentment. Mm-hmm. As far as we chose, everyone that audition is able to play extras as well too. So we want to make sure that everyone has a part, and it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful movie. Resentment is filled with resentment and some love too. Yeah. So it's a good movie. Go ahead. You were saying something?
No, you were talking about your week.
No, my week was all right. We chose character for Resentment. I was spending a lot of money this week on nothing. I was. What's that called when you be buying stuff? Cause
I'm broke.
When you be buying stuff because you
shoppicating or
shop medicating.
Shoppicating.
Yeah, I was medicating. Yeah, I make sure my bills is paid first.
First of the month.
Yeah, make sure my bills is paid first, and then want to buy a lot of nonsense sometimes.
What you buy?
Yeah.
What about?
He started living it out.
For myself, I bought like some Balenciaga. That's what he wanted me to talk about. Cause he talked
what else you bought?
I bought like a bunch of pants and a bunch of shirts.
Wait, I
bought the jacket. The funny thing about the jacket is, I was in the store. It was like 5 girls in the store, and then I was like, how does jacket look? And then the last girl, I wasn't even going to buy the jacket. I was like, does this jacket look tight? And the last girl was like, but you could tell you work out, so you buff. I was like, yep, could you put this jacket
let me buy it.
How much commission she get?
She didn't work there.
She
didn't work there. Well, most of the other ones work there. That's why I ain't buy it. Because I'm like, they're just telling me it look nice because they want money.
Yeah. What, dude? You compliment a man and changes his life for at least a week. You strutting a little bit for a week. You know.
But I actually bought this shirt today. I went back and bought from the same place from Next.
Oh, okay.
I went back and bought the shirt from Next today because I was bored, so I just went and bought it.
Hey, you got it.
That's how you know you're single.
Hey, man.
Wait.
Hey, if you got it, man.
Right. Hell yeah.
But the thing about having it is that once you spend it, you ain't got it no more.
Yeah, but you work every day. You deserve something.
Yeah. I try to. Yeah.
What's the point of working if you're not gonna spend it?
Exactly.
Sometimes
Right. Exactly.
How was your week?
My week, man, just working, going through training at work, some other personal stuff. So that aggravated me today. I'm kind of aggravated today, but I'm gonna make sure we have a good show. But that's basically it. Nothing eventful. Just waiting to work on this Resentment movie starring me.
No,
me
he is not. He's not even gonna be in it. You got me thinking, is your son gonna be in it? Because he's gonna be trying to talk me into putting his dad in it.
Starring me and my child.
So that movie gonna be called Parenting. That y'all gonna make by yourselves with your phone, with your iPhone 11. But go ahead.
That's funny.
How was your week, man?
Honestly, it was pretty cool. I'm filming Gatlin, the movie, which is an MMA movie by Matt Cain.
Okay.
Yeah. This is his directorial debut, and he's been a pretty big actor in the Cleveland film community.
I know who Matt Cain is.
Yeah.
Okay. Never met him, but I know who he is.
He's good peeps, man. He's good peeps. Maybe we'll get him on the show.
You know who he is. You know who he is. Matt Cain. He was in a movie with Keith.
Okay.
Keith, I love Keith.
Yeah. He was the white guy that was at the end part of the movie.
Oh,
and
okay.
And he was like fighting. And he was
Yeah.
like really good. Like he was really good. And we said like he can act.
Oh yeah,
The same dude.
Okay.
That's crazy to get him on the show because we were complimenting his acting.
Yeah, no, we'll get him on a show. You know, he's doing an MMA movie, which is cool, and it's actually kind of like smart to do it too because UFC's getting really big.
Yeah.
I'm a UFC fan, so you know.
And plus, it's something different.
Yeah.
Something different from the norm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
Because I'm tired of seeing like just everything being a hood movie or like
J-Lo?
Yeah.
No offense, J-Lo. You know, I ain't trying to beef with you.
Yeah, J-Lo. You know what a J-Lo.
I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah, J-Lo
You ain't
movies
from
either.
Brooklyn, girl.
No. She don't do hood movies no more. J-Lo does. I'm married and I'm like this beautiful wife. This exotic looking, just beautiful wife, and I'm married and I'm looking for this guy. I'm looking to marry the story of her life, looking to marry somebody. Or she does action movies where she is the married woman that's going through somebody trying to capture her and all that stuff. I don't like J-Lo movies. The best J-Lo movie I think though was The Cell.
I like the Eric Cartman version of J-Lo where he's like.
Have you ever seen The Cell?
Nah.
Watch it. It's a movie that you would like.
Probably wouldn't like it.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah,
you would. It's one of them
It's
super.
good. It's good.
It's really good. It's like this is a J-Lo movie. One of those. It's super weird. Just like, and the graphics is like amazing.
Okay.
You like this is J-Lo because it's nothing about like her trying to get married.
Anaconda was good, right? Wasn't she in Anaconda? With the guy with the really bad Bayou accent, like I'm gonna get the Anaconda.
I didn't like Anaconda.
I
watched it. Yeah, I feel like it was just.
Yeah, I think I did watch it.
I did watch it. It was too much. Back then, you don't know what back then movies was really like a play on like. Let's just be really just direct and insult culturally who you are. Yeah. so they did that a lot with Ice Cube. Yeah. And they did that with her. Yeah. And then it was like Ice Cube was like had to be like really mean.
I know.
It was just like it was weird. I didn't like Anaconda because the acting was very mediocre with these top notch actors and actresses. And J-Lo can act. Like I think she's one of the best.
Yeah, but she can.
I think J-Lo's one of the best.
Well, I'm glad that you.
I said acting.
It was alright. Yeah,
I'm glad you brought us.
Not singing. I said acting.
Yeah.
That's about it. And then you got work. Obviously, you know, gotta do the hustle, gotta eat, put food on the table.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Yeah, let's get away from that J-Lo.
The only topic that we have that we're discussing as far as the entertainment topic is Puffy.
But I got something too I want to talk about.
But the funny thing about the Puffy topic is kind of like I was really looking today and for topics to talk about, and all you saw was Puffy, and then it'd be like Puffy, Beyonce album drop, Puffy, Beyonce album drop. It was like really weird. It's like I don't want to talk about the Beyonce album. I just want to. The only thing that we can talk about is Puffy because there's too many sides to the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's too many sides to the whole thing. It's kind of crazy, but.
So was he get investigated for? Was it?
We'll talk about that when they come in.
So what we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about the book portion, and then we're gonna talk about that in a second. All right. Okay. So just got done reading Our Secret Society by Molly Moon and the glamour, money, and power behind the civil rights movement. So Molly Moon is one of the individuals that actually started the National Urban League, the Urban League. Yeah. So, which is funny because I was the first place winner in the Urban League essay contest in the whole state of Ohio when I was in high school. No, seriously.
That's cool. Why you gotta live worse?
Because you like making a jealous face.
No, that's not even.
Yeah, but it's
funny.
Think
about what we eat tonight.
Yeah, when I was in high school, so I was in the Urban League essay contest, and that paper was as born as this book. I'm just
You said that before in a couple episodes, haven't you? But you didn't.
No, I never said that.
Cool.
I said it when I first started reading this book. Yeah, but the book was not. It was like a history book. Yeah. It was like, but she was like the main character in the book, she used to live in like I think it was Germany or Russia, and she was like studying Marxism, and she was trying to study being like being a communist. And then when she moved there to the United States, she found ways to make money. She said, "Forget that communism." But later in her career, I mean, she would like buy like her and her husband, they would buy like $1 million things for their house and like take out loans for stuff, but then wouldn't have money to like eat. You know what I'm saying? But what they did was they built a look to where people started donating money to them because of their organization, the National Urban League. But it was like a way. They used to have like dinner parties and stuff. But it was a way to gain people into. And plus, she was beautiful. Like you got to see her, like her and her whole little crew. They like look so exotic. So it was a way for them to get money to actually bring people in. Like they start, and then then she started kicking it with Rockefeller, one of the Rockefeller sons, and he was married too.
You're not talking about like the Jay-Z Rockefeller.
No, I'm talking about Rockefeller, the rich Rockefeller.
I'm just make sure y'all,
but the thing, but it was like allegations of her and the Rockefeller guy messing around, and it was allegations of her and a lot of rich wealthy men was messing around, and her husband. She was married, which was crazy, but it was allegations about. This was during like the 40s and 50s. With allegations about her, and 60s too. Allegations about her husband. They had like an agreement, and she was messing with whatever dude he wanted to mess with. There's
been a lot of that going on in the news.
But look, and he was messing with whatever dude he wanted to mess. But
and a lot of that going on in the news nowadays.
So it was a lot of that. But they were saying that's just allegations because nothing was proven to like because they ain't like they ain't allegedly they don't have the internet. You know what I'm saying like no. But she sued her. Like her daughter sued like for racism because she was trying to go into a hotel. Something happened with that. She sued the person, I can't remember her name. She took over the National Urban League. It was a Caucasian lady, took over the National Urban League. She sued her because the lady, and she won, because the lady was putting out how much of a hoe she was. Yeah. Like, and reading the book, you know how they said, if they keep saying something, there's got to be a little bit of truth to it. But in the book, they mentioned a lot about how much of a hoeback she was in the book. But it's a really, that part was kind of like, I was reading and I was kind of like, wow. Like, even in the civil rights movement, and this is like one of the big leaders in the civil rights movement, and they talk about Martin Luther King, Thurgood Marshall. Whitney Young was her boss at one point. Whitney Young. I graduated from Whitney Young middle school too. So.
Yeah, I know some people that graduate from Whitney.
Yeah, you gotta be smart to graduate.
Yeah, I know. I've heard.
Yeah, so you gotta be like, but I graduated from Whitney Young, and Whitney Young, they talk about him in the book too, and he was not the most faithful guy ever. Yeah. Like he was really. They was talking about how intelligent he was, but he loved fooling around the neighborhood with different women and stuff. But this book was it was a lot of salacious activity in this book, but it was a good book, and I'm back to reading A Little Life. This book is so Marie had me reading this book. This book has, if you are upset by, if you're homophobic or you get upset by, I can't say the word on YouTube, by people doing things to children.
S.A.
Yeah, you do not want to read this book. So how she picked out this book is, she picked out this book on TikTok. So it's a lot of people, like this book is like New York Times bestseller because of how many people, TikTok is like, like the big thing now. So everybody and a lot of people say they couldn't read this book without crying. Now, I have never read a book and cried, you know what I'm saying? But I never watched a movie and cried because that ain't me. But in this book, I can see why people would cry. Man, the stuff that happened to the main character in this book, like from he was, just one part of the story, like from he was like 8 years old till he was like 16, he was being... essayed, and he was working for like the priest left the priesthood was bringing him with him and selling himself from he was like no, not till he was 16 because the police came and found him when he was 13 because the guy kept telling him every year you could stop, and he was like he got to the point where not like in the book he's like cutting himself. And how he learned, and it's crazy reading about how he learned how to cut himself because the priest told him, you should be able, if you want to, because he used to throw himself downstairs and stuff because he didn't like doing what he was doing. And the priest told him, like, maybe you should we used to bring him razors and be like, maybe you should just cut yourself if you want to get away from feeling how you feel. And it's crazy. And I always thought only like, because when you hear about these cases of people cutting themselves, like women cut themselves. You ever heard of people that yeah, but yeah, this book is like it's really sad. It's kind of terrible. But he graduated from Yale though. He's a lawyer, and
redemption story.
Yeah, but he was always really smart, because even though the guy was doing things to him, he taught him every day, because the guy was originally a teacher. So he was really smart, but he was a smart essayer, and he taught him every day. Like every day, he would teach him, and he was like really smart. But it's a sad.
Hopefully that guy's in jail. If this is a real book, like a real story, is it fiction, nonfiction?
I didn't even look into that, but I think it's fiction. The author is,
no kid deserves that. I mean, we know it happens.
Yeah, the author
those people
is
deserve to die.
Hanya Yangirhara. She's Asian. I don't know if she's Chinese, Japanese, but she's Asian. She's a little cute little lady. Wrote the book, so it's like some of the stuff I be reading. I'm like, this little cute little lady wrote this. She's got to be true, because this stuff ain't floating around in her head. Because there's so much crazy stuff in this book. But it's a really good book. If y'all looking for a book to pick up that make y'all wanna cry or feel like you want to destroy yourself. Now, I'm not almost done. I feel like I'll be done by the end of April.
So you can talk about it then when you're done.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about this book again until I'm done. Because I'm on page 517. This book has 814 pages. Wow. It would officially be the longest book I ever read. Because the longest book I ever read is probably like 700 something. So this would be the longest book I ever read. But it's a really good book.
Well, and me, I'm not reading nothing. Next month is April about to start. I think I'm going to start listening to audio books. I just haven't been in the mood to read. So start listening to audio books when I'm at work. I listen to a lot of YouTube channels when I'm at work. So I might as well just listen to some books while I'm at.
I honestly prefer audio books. You know?
I'm really upset, right? Just real quick. And Marie, I'm mad because she sent me a picture today. She like right here. She almost finished the daggone book.
Wow!
Because I had to stop and read this book. That's why.
Yeah.
But she in the same book club I'm in, so she almost finished the book. I was like, dang, don't tell me about the book.
Don't.
But yeah, so go ahead.
You reading anything?
Yeah. No, I am. I'm reading Hereditary screenplay.
Okay.
Right, so it's just like I read a lot of screenplays to get a better idea of how to be a better writer.
Okay.
So Hereditary screenplay, and then I'm looking at the pictures and trying to match the words
with the pictures.
Okay. Right? So when I write, I can visually match and be able to shoot what I write.
Okay, nothing like mastering your craft.
Yeah,
That's
a very intelligent way to look at it.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, right, sure. We got our special guest, Tellichubby. Yes,
thank you for
one of the kings. I said Prince earlier. Yeah, he just got a little bit older since the show started. So he's one of the kings of films in Cleveland.
So we about to get in your business right about now. So that's what we normally do. So.
I see you post a lot of pictures with your girl. I'm just playing. I'm joking. We'll never do that. We'll never do that. We just want to know about what you do. As far as tell us exactly what it is that you do.
I'm pretty much. As an artist, like there's two sides. I mean, there's Chad, right, the professional, right? You gotta work, you gotta make your 9 to 5, and there's Tellichubby, who's really good with films, right? So I write, direct. I've been loving acting lately. You know, it's all that fun without the responsibilities of making and hiring and doing all the logistics of it. And then I like to create reels or entertainment reels and try to entertain people for 8 to 10 seconds.
Okay.
Right? Keeping it simple. And then, anything art. I'm just trying to dabble in anything art as, I think without art, I don't feel like I'm living.
Do you draw?
I wish I could. The one art I can't do and I need right now, I need an artist. Right? But, man, I could do like basic drawings, so nothing like crazy as like you see like anime and realism and nothing like that. But respect to the people who can draw. It's a talent, man.
Yeah. I used to be able to draw back in the day. I lost it, man.
Me too. I used to draw, and I don't think I lost it. I think I just don't care no more.
I was so.
Because I'm sure you'll be able to still do it.
Yeah, I was so good. I was in high school. I was in independent studies where I was like the only person in the class, and I was able to draw and use what type of medium I wanted to use to draw.
Can I say something without you making a face? But I did win the industrial arts.
Oh, okay! Congratulations.
Contest. See, there we go. Industrial arts contest in high school. And it was it wasn't for the state like the Urban League. It was for just the city of Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was a great person before I started doing drugs and alcohol.
Man,
that's another episode though.
That's another episode. 20 years old. But go ahead.
Good job.
Yeah. So, Chad, at what age or when did you just sit down and realize, like, look, this is my passion, this is my dream. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put everything that I have into this. I'm going to get the schooling. I'm going to get the teaching. When did you realize that this is what you wanted to do?
So in 2000, maybe 14 or 15, I was in pre-med. And I was going through all the doctor classes, right? You know, I was going to be either a forensic nurse or some type of doctor. Okay. Then I'm sitting in biology class, and I'm having a blast writing a play. Right? Right? And I look up, and she's like, pop quiz, hot shot. And I'm like, oh, no. So she gives us the quiz, right? I'm like thinking I know the answers. I'm like, bam. The mitochondria's the powerhouse of the cell, or something like that. Like, I'm like trying to recite it. And then 2 days later, I get my test back, and I did 48%. Ooh. Everybody in the class did 48%, so they like bumped up the score. I guess that's common. Yeah. Right? Or whatever. I guess there's a curve. Yeah. I guess.
You know what would have helped you? Because they did a study that if you don't know the answer to it on a test, you know it's the best thing to choose is C. They did a study on that. And most people, they say that people get it, but it's like, too late. You know?
No, this biology teacher was the one that like would switch it up. It wouldn't be C, it would be like F or something like that.
Went that far? I'm talking about A, B, C, D.
Right? No, she had more than 4, right? It was like one of those teachers where you're like, come on, like 3 of these could be the answer and I gotta guess. Right? And if it's a 50-50 shot, I'm probably getting it wrong anyways, you know? But that being said, though, man, I wrote a play. I had fun, and they entered it, and I got 3rd place, right, in the entire the county. Okay. Right, which was cool, you know. And I was like, wait, like you could do this for a living? Yeah. And they were like, yeah, man. So I packed up my stuff. Went to Cleveland and was like, and never looked back. You know, I'm from Cleveland, right? Okay. I was born and raised in Lorain, right? But, you know, due to poverty, my parents left, right? Thought they had a better opportunity in the South. Did not have a better opportunity in the South, right? And I just packed up, moved, and never looked back. Okay.
Yeah. Where South did you move to?
Kentucky.
I've been to Kentucky before.
I've been to man.
I'm not hating.
Kentucky is so but that's a whole other show.
That's a whole other one.
Yeah, because I had a bad experience. Kentucky, I'm probably a lot older than you think I am, but we're not gonna talk about age on the show. But I was in Kentucky one time when I was younger, and we went to Diddy's. And we were on a church picnic, and we showed up. You know, Diddy's 24 hours. Yeah. It wasn't 24 hours for us. No. We was in a church band, and they looked at us and told us, we're not serving you.
Yeah.
And it's like, Kentucky is not that south, but it was like, but
it's some. I had some weird experiences.
It wasn't bad. Nothing bad. It was a very long time ago, though. And, you know, like, that was before now. Like, now, that stuff ain't gonna happen.
Not as much.
I would have been, Diddy's gonna be sued.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this podcast be bumping. We have rents.
And everybody has a camera now. Everybody has a camera now. So back then, it was kind of like that stuff happened. But, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I never experienced that, actually, coming up from Lorain. Like, you know, we have everybody, man. You know, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, everybody. And we all cool. You know, it wasn't a thing, you know. It was either like, you know, it was gangs that really beefed, you know what I'm saying? Or if you were on one side or the other, right? It wasn't really like a race thing, you know. There was jokes about it, obviously, like growing up. That's the thing. That's just only natural. But it wasn't like, when I went to Kentucky, I was like, Oh, like, dude, like, you can't be saying that to my dude like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah,
and then you beef it with some, like, 6'4" country boy.
Right? It was very weird. Like, when that happened, I was like, but we couldn't say nothing because we were little kids when we were little kids. And second of all, my father's a preacher, and it was a church. Like, it was a church, so it was kind of like, you sure we can't say nothing? But they was like, no, just don't say nothing. We just going to go somewhere else.
Yes.
And
take our business.
And where everybody did, everybody had to go to sleep.
Dang! Y'all had ice cubes for breakfast, for dinner.
Ice cubes for dinner. Yeah. But so, you did study journalism, PR, media arts at Cleveland State. Talk about your study. After
definitely Cleveland State was amazing, right? So they kind of just threw you in the fire. Right, their whole thing is like really engagement, right? But the fact is, when they threw you in the fire, sometimes pressure makes diamonds.
Yeah.
Right, and I got to learn a lot of hands-on things. Work with a lot of companies, Feather Leather, okay. Right? They were cool. Like, so they brought in like real companies to work with. Okay. Like I did TED Talk. Right, and that kind of like got your nerves out, right? Which transitions to the real world. But that being said, though, you're like your degrees weigh, right? So when you're out in the real world, right, you're still broke in college. You know what I'm saying? Like I was homeless, like it's all recorded, and and I had to figure out my way, kind of like around it. Luckily I had $200 rent options, right? Sleeping with the roaches, but
hey man,
roommates, But that being said, though, you learned a lot, your degree weighs something. So when you're going to apply out, right, which the film degree really didn't do anything, right? Because, I have a film degree, with Cleveland State, and we're recognized. But how are you competing against Ohio State University?
Yeah,
right? And that's where, like, economics come in play. Because, I would have loved to go to Ohio State.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go to Ohio State for
it's like the prestige and all that other stuff.
Ohio State, all them little rich kids down there. Yeah, it's kind of like a Ohio State is a big name.
Big name.
Yeah, and you have Ohio State on the resume, and then you have Cleveland State. Who you going to choose? Yeah. Right? Maybe even if it's an entry-level film job. Mm-hmm. So that being said, I used my journalism and PR, right? And that's kind of what got me, the jobs to get afloat, what I'm saying, to put a little food on my table, and then to put aside for the art and to go the indie route, the kind of the Mac Miller route where you're like, you know what,
you're right.
You don't want to give me money, thank you, thank you, you saved me some time, so I'm gonna do my own thing.
We got our special guest, Tellichubby. Yes, one of the kings. I said Prince earlier. Yeah, he just got a little bit older since the show started. So he's one of the kings of films in Cleveland.
So we about to get in your business right about now. So that's what we normally do. So
I see you post a lot of pictures with your girl. I'm just playing. I'm joking. Oh, we'll never do that. We'll never do that. We just want to know about what you do as far as tell us exactly what it is that you do.
I'm pretty much. As an artist, like there's two sides. There's Chad, right, the professional, right? You gotta work, you gotta make your 9 to 5, and there's Tellichubby, who's really good with films, right? So I write, direct. I've been loving acting lately. It's all that fun without the responsibilities of making and hiring and doing all the logistics of it. And then I like to create reels or entertainment reels and try to entertain people for 8 to 10 seconds. Okay. Right? Keeping it simple. And then, anything art. I'm just trying to dabble in anything art as, I think without art, I don't feel like I'm living.
Do you draw?
I wish I could. The one art I can't do and I need right now, I need an artist. Right? But, man, I could do like basic drawings, so nothing like crazy as like you see like anime and realism and nothing like that. But respect to the people who can draw.
Yeah.
It's a talent, man.
I used to be able to draw back in the day. I lost it, man.
Me too. I used to draw, and I don't think I lost it. I think I just don't care no more.
I was so
because I'm sure you'll be able to still do it.
Yeah, I was so good. I was in high school. I was in independent studies where I was like the only person in the class, and I was able to draw and use what type of medium I wanted to use to draw.
Can I say something without you making a face? But I did win the industrial arts.
Oh, okay! Congratulations.
Contest. See, there we go. Industrial arts contest in high school, and it was it wasn't for the state like the Urban League. It was for just the city of Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was a great person before I started doing drugs and alcohol.
Man,
that's another episode though.
That's another episode. 20 years old. But go ahead.
Good job.
Yeah. So, Chad, at what age or when did you just sit down and realize, like, look, this is my passion, this is my dream. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put everything that I have into this. I'm going to get the schooling. I'm going to get the teaching. When did you realize that this is what you wanted to do?
So in 2000, maybe 14 or 15, I was in pre-med. And I was going through all the doctor classes, right? You know, I was going to be either a forensic nurse or some type of doctor. Okay. Then I'm sitting in biology class, and I'm having a blast writing a play. Right? Right? And I look up, and she's like, pop quiz, hot shot. And I'm like, oh, no. So she gives us the quiz, right? I'm like thinking I know the answers. I'm like, bam. The mitochondria's the powerhouse of the cell, or something like that. Like, I'm like trying to recite it. And then 2 days later, I get my test back, and I did 48%. Ooh. Everybody in the class did 48%, so they, like, bumped up the score. I guess that's common. Yeah. Right? Or whatever. I guess there's a curve. Yeah. I guess.
You know what would have helped you? Because they did a study that if you don't know the answer to it on a test, you know it's the best thing to choose is C. They did a study on that. And most people, they say that people get it, but it's like, man, too late. You know?
No, this biology teacher was the one that, like, would switch it up. It wouldn't be C. It would be, like, F or something like that.
With that part, I'm talking about A, B, C, D.
Right? No, she had more than 4, right? It was, like, one of those teachers where you're like, come on. Like, 3 of these could be the answer, and I gotta guess. Right? And if it's a 50-50 shot, I'm probably getting it wrong anyways, you know? But that being said, though, man, I wrote a play. I had fun, and they entered it, and I got 3rd place, right, in the entire, like, the county. Okay. Right, which was cool, you know? And I was like, wait, like, you could do this for a living? Yeah. And they were like, yeah, man. So I packed up my stuff, went to Cleveland, and was like, and never looked back. You know, I'm from Cleveland, right? Okay. I was born and raised in Lorain, right? But, you know, due to poverty, my parents left, right? Thought they had a better opportunity in the South. Did not have a better opportunity in the South, right? And I just packed up, moved, and never looked back. Okay.
Yeah. Where South did you move to?
Kentucky.
I've been to Kentucky before.
I've been to man.
I'm not hating.
Kentucky is so never, but that's a whole other show.
That's a whole other one.
Yeah, because I had a bad experience. Kentucky, I'm probably a lot older than you think I am, but we're not gonna talk about age on the show. But I was in Kentucky one time when I was younger, and we went to Diddy's. And we were on a church picnic, and we showed up. You know, Diddy's 24 hours. Yeah. It wasn't 24 hours for us. No. We was in a church band, and they looked at us and told us, we're not serving you.
Yeah.
And it's like, Kentucky is not that south, but it was like, but
it's some. I had some weird experiences.
It wasn't bad. It was a very long time ago, though. And, you know, like, that was before now. Like, now, that stuff ain't gonna happen.
Not as much.
I would have been, Diddy's gonna be sued.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this podcast be bumping. We have rents.
And everybody has a camera now. Everybody has a camera now. So back then, it was kind of like that stuff happened. But, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I never experienced that, actually. Coming up from Lorain, like, you know, like, we have everybody, man. You know, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, everybody. And we all cool. You know, it wasn't a thing, you know. It was either like, you know, it was gangs that really beefed, you know what I'm saying? Or if you were on one side or the other, right? It wasn't really like a race thing, you know. There was jokes about it, obviously, like growing up. That's the thing. That's just only natural. But it wasn't like, when I went to Kentucky, I was like, Oh, like, dude, like, you can't be saying that to my dude like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah,
and then you beef it with some, like, 6'4" country boy.
Right? It was very weird. Like, when that happened, I was like, but we couldn't say nothing because we were little kids when we were little kids. And second of all, my father's a preacher, and it was a church. Like, It was a church, so it was kind of like, you sure we can't say nothing? But they was like, no, just don't say nothing. We just going to go somewhere else.
Yes.
And
take our business.
And where everybody had to go to sleep.
Dang! Y'all had ice cubes for breakfast, for dinner.
Ice cubes for dinner. Yeah. But so, you did study journalism, PR, media arts at Cleveland State. Talk about your study. After
definitely, Cleveland State was amazing, right? So they kind of just threw you in the fire. Right, their whole thing is like really engagement, right? But the fact is, when they threw you in the fire, sometimes pressure makes diamonds.
Yeah.
Right, and I got to learn a lot of hands-on things. Work with a lot of companies, Feather Leather, okay. Right? They were cool. Like, so they brought in like real companies to work with.
Okay.
Like I did TED Talk. Right, and that kind of like got your nerves out, right? Which transitions to the real world. But that being said, though, you're like your degrees weigh, right? So when you're out in the real world, right, you're still broke in college. You know what I'm saying? Like I was homeless, like it's all recorded, and and I had to figure out my way, kind of like around it. Luckily I had $200 rent options, right? Sleeping with the roaches, but
hey man,
roommates, But that being said, though, you learned a lot, your degree weighs something. So when you're going to apply out, right, which the film degree really didn't do anything, right? Because, I have a film degree, with Cleveland State, and we're recognized. But how are you competing against Ohio State University?
Yeah,
right? And that's where, like, economics come in play. Because, I would have loved to go to Ohio State. But I'm not going to go to Ohio State for
the prestige and all that other stuff.
Ohio State, all them little rich kids down there. Yeah, it's kind of like a Ohio State is a big name.
Big name.
Yeah, and you have Ohio State on a resume, and then you have Cleveland State. Who you going to choose? Right? Maybe even if it's an entry-level film job. So that being said, I used my journalism and PR, right? And that's kind of what got me, the jobs to get afloat, you know what I'm saying, to put a little food on my table, and then to put aside for the art and to go the indie route, the kind of the Mac Miller route where you're like, you know what,
you're right.
You don't want to give me money, thank you, thank you, you saved me some time, so I'm gonna do my own thing, and that's where I'm at, I'm out here grinding and trying to push creative limits. Right, and trying to meet awesome people like you guys selves.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you guys have great vibes.
Thank you.
So, if you go to his Instagram page, visuals dope, nice, crisp, clear, professional.
And if he say that, because dude, we go to other.
I know.
So talk about like some of the projects that you created, doing your own visuals. I know you said you worked on a lot of other projects, but talk about some of the things that you've created yourself.
Yeah, so reels, I've been really trying to push like 10-second reels and things like that. And I try to kind of like market other people by using my art, right? So I'm on Meat, right? And, that's Roger Connor's Meat, the movie, LGBTQ slasher. It's really good. And it's probably the best film I've ever worked on. But that being said, right, he allowed me, he was like, hey, man, go ahead and get some marketed visuals, right? And not only does it market him, but it markets me, too, because I'm getting cool visuals through his ideas, right? And really, it's a collaboration. On my own, right, I have a trilogy, right? So I've done my thesis film, Credo, and then my second film that's I haven't released it yet, but it's won a bunch of awards and things like that. Elephant in the Room, right? And then The Blessed Be the Fruit. I'm trying to tap, like with Credo, I was just trying to do it.
Blessed Be the Fruit.
Yeah, Blessed Be the Fruit.
Okay, that's from what's the name of that movie? That show where they wear the red and all that stuff.
with the weird.
So it's a Hulu.
I know what you're talking about. There's a book on it.
There's a book. Yeah. I'm gonna think of it in a second, but I can't
think of the name.
So now we're about to talk about Puff Daddy, Puffy, and everything. Puffy just so this is what I'm seeing that is going on with Puffy right now. There was a raid to his house. Ooh. Was that by who was it?
Homeland Security.
Homeland Security raided his house. They didn't arrest. They detained his sons. Mm-hmm. They're looking for proof of, can't say the word on YouTube, of ex-Jaffican. Can't say Can't say the actual words. And then
moving one person to another location. Against their will.
Not really against their will. Even if you're paying someone to do it, it's still it's still counted as ex-African. So it's still counted as the same thing. So there's different degrees to it, what it actually is, and they're trying to now they're dragging everybody's name in there. They're saying Young Miami was moving. They said she moved some cocaine from. But she's saying that she was
narcotics.
She said she was actually getting her outfit for the Met Gala that during the time period. You see everybody want to come up here, but she's like, no, I was, you know what I'm saying? But it's just so much different things. And I'm seeing a lot of people saying they're trying to bring down like the great people. And all right, this is my thing about Puffy and about like when people say stuff like that. And I'm not saying he did it because all of this is allegations, but this is stuff that's been whistling for a long time. And I feel like sometimes we make bad behavior acceptable because we worship certain people, and we feel like because we have a liking for certain people, we feel that like the Dan Schneider thing. I saw a lot of people was like, well, Dan Schneider was an a-hole. Dan Schneider, but I'm comparing what we know, the allegations that we know. Yeah. Dan Schneider, there's nothing that he's done that's criminal. What he's done is more so unethical. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of crazy, the stuff that he does. I feel like the stuff he does is to not have his job. You know what I'm saying? The stuff he does, but I don't think he done anything, from what we know, the allegations that we have, anything that's criminal to the point where he should be in prison. The people that work for him should be in prison, which I was kind of like amazed by the time that they did. But then me and one of my fraternity brothers was talking about that how when you did stuff like that back in the day, as far as like, I can't say the word on YouTube, when you have a little boy or a little girl, those things were, back in the day, the time that they did for that was so weird. Like people could go months, especially unless they was in Georgia. Yeah. But people could go would get like 2 years.
Wow.
For doing that.
Yeah.
They would
that's just wrong.
They would get more time for doing it to an adult. Yeah. An adult woman than they would get for doing it to a child.
Which is weird, dude. That should be life. I mean, think about it. That child is never going to be the same again.
And then when I watched the guy, what's his name? Drake. From Drake and Josh, and him was telling his story, and I see a lot of people like was on there saying like, well, he they was making fun of him, like, man, he was a kid. Like when somebody is in there innocent and something happened to him, I can't judge it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's different if he was a grown man. But yeah, back to Puffy. I think like what's going on with Puffy, I'm not gonna make too many accusations and too many assumptions on what's going on with Puffy. I feel like everything just has to play out. Now like I said, you've been hearing a lot of stuff for years and years and years. Just like when stuff happened with R. Kelly, it was like, dude, I saw the tape when I was in high school.
I saw him pee on that girl.
Yeah. We
know he peed. He peed on that 12-year-old.
I saw the tape when I was in high school, so it's kind of like to act like it's so like it's just no possible way, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no idea behind these things. I just think that sometimes we put a lot of things in front of bad behavior. We deal with that with emotion. We like, well, emotionally I feel this way about this person. I'm so invested in their music too. And I feel like Puff Daddy has never been invested in any of the music that he's done.
I was saying, name one good Puff Daddy song.
Oh, there was a lot of good Puff Daddy.
Really? I'm not a fan.
Production. I'm talking about his production.
Oh, okay.
His music.
His own music.
Yeah, no. I mean,
he had that Hello, Good Morning song. That's about it.
Yeah, but I'm saying he had Biggie, he had The Lox, he had
he
had Faith, he had Mary J. Blige, he had done work with Usher, he done work with Justin Bieber. He done work with Justin Bieber. He's done work with some of the greatest people in Hollywood. But as far as like him personally, like his personal music, I feel like Puffy just knew that he was a name. So I feel like he was playing with us. But that's why he used to put a lot of other artists on his stuff. Because Puff Daddy albums back in the day was good because there was other people on there. But it was always good until he started rapping.
Yeah,
that's how I was like, man, that song would have been good if Puffy wasn't on it.
Yo, you know what? You know how you know you're not good is when when you got it yourself. Have you ever seen that interview with Lil Wayne and Puffy? And Lil Wayne, he's trying to hype himself up. And Lil Wayne's like, Puffy's like, telling Lil Wayne, he's like, tell him why you should mess with me. He was like, well, Lil Wayne's like, well, if you like mediocre, you know what I'm saying? Lil Wayne being Lil Wayne, he's like, you like to get, take it up the butt or something like that. And you're like, whoa! Lil Wayne's ratting you out, like 2 years later. And to me, Lil Wayne is my top 3.
I seen that video and I think that was AI generated.
You think?
You think so?
Yeah.
Dude, you don't know what's real anymore.
Yeah, it was AI generated.
What you feel about the whole Puffy thing?
Well, I'm going to be short on mine because I'm biased on this and I've never been a Puffy fan because I've always been a big Tupac fan. I just didn't like the way that I just never liked the way that Puffy carried himself. If you listen to back in the time when Tupac and Biggie was going back and forth. If you listen to some of Biggie's music, it was some songs where he was taking shots at Tupac, but Puffy was trying to make it seem like, oh, we're taking a high road, we're not paying attention and all this type of stuff. And there's always been, allegations against, him. I mean, this ain't the biggest person of credibility, but, Suge Knight tried to tell us. Other artists try to tell us, his business practices hasn't always been practical. Watching his TV shows with Making the Band and how he treated Farnsworth Bentley.
The whole thing with Shine.
Yeah, the whole
thing with Loon.
Yeah, with Shine, Loon, G-Dep.
Whole thing with J-Lo.
Yeah, so his character has always...
And when J-Lo realized, like, I ain't that street.
Right. I ain't that street.
Yeah, and in my opinion, his character has always... come into question about, certain things. So, like they always say, when there's smoke, there's fire. With this situation, I don't really know what to say because it's like, he's not in jail. So, I mean...
Yeah.
So,
but he ain't come back.
The one thing I could say as far as, like, being observant of what's going on, I think that what started it was the whole Cassie thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so when they have civil cases against you and there's already rumors about things that you do and there's, like, some type of solid evidence with Homeland Security and the FBI, when they have these things that continuously get information about these things, and they try to build, and civil cases are built on criminal cases too. So they look into the different criminal cases that they could actually find because they talk about the guns because that was a lot of what's his name, Lil Rod.
Yeah.
His name alone, I don't know. Little Rod, dude, his name is Little Rod. Yeah. So that's kind of weird.
And that's another thing, too. I've been reading stuff about, Little Rod supposedly has videotape and, all this evidence and all this stuff. But, I mean, as of right now, even though I'm biased towards him, I mean, I don't know what to say because, I mean, he's still walking free. He's still out. So, I mean,
well,
you know what I'm saying?
But when you watch things on I watch on real court TV. I don't watch on the Shade Room. I watch like people that's actually connected. So when you watch things, they're trying to build a case around what he has going on. I'm not a lawyer, a judge, so I'm not going to say, well, this should happen to him because I don't know exactly what he's done. But I'm just saying that sometimes you keep hearing things, there's a little bit of validity to it. Yeah. But I'm not going to sit there and say he did these things. Yeah. But I'm going to say, if somebody did it, was him.
And I think another thing that bothers me, man, is the whole thing of like, is you know, people coming up with these conspiracy theories all the time. It's like every time something happens, like, oh, well, he sued this person, or he sued this, or this is why they coming after him, or like, oh, he's a rich, you know, black man, so they're trying to take. It's like we have, like, just because you don't hear about them, we have tons of black billionaires, whatever, that you don't ever hear about in the news for doing these type of things or whatever. So I just think, like what you said, some people just get so close to these entertainment people that they start worshiping them.
Yeah,
and it's just like,
weird. And they feel like no justification for their bad behavior.
Exactly. And it's like nobody's trying to tear this person down. It's like, allegedly, if he did these things, these allegations are true, then you know he deserves to because
for his crime. Because the thing about it, if you think about it right now, during like the pandemic, or even shortly before the pandemic, people were becoming more in touch with mental health, right? And people were becoming more in touch with actually how, you know, how people are bothered by the things that happened to them before, and how it affects the quality of their life, right? So people feel like a lot of these things, like Harvey Weinstein, Epstein, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, they feel like a lot of these people that went through these things, they feel like people started feeling that they need to be healed from these things. So they felt that the only healing that I could get is to see that something, you know, happen, some type of justice happen for me for whatever this person have done to me. So I feel like a lot of it is just justice, like people wanting justice, not even so much like when the Cassie thing, they like, how many years you been hearing how he been doing Cassie?
Yeah,
and people like, she just wanted some money. Of course, and do something to these if I want no money.
And then like
right,
yeah. While you was talking, we just skipped over a few other people that was named, like Stevie J was named in there. 50 Cent's son's mother was named in this. And there's a situation where 50 Cent is going back and forth with his son's mother about, you know, her being a worker of the situation, and how he's trying to get full custody of his son. And then Stevie J isn't helping the case any by him coming out wanting to fight 50 Cent, because 50 Cent was clowning him, you know, 50 Cent clown. And then Stevie J gonna get on the computer, get on the internet talking about what you mad because your baby mama's with the gang. Like she trying to, it's not helping 50 Cent's baby mama, because it's like now she can't really disassociate herself from the situation because you got Stevie J running his mouth or whatever. So it's just like, it's a big mess.
And the thing about it, and I would always believe that if you give somebody a little bit of popularity and you give them a camera and you give them like a phone, they're gonna destroy themselves. Yeah, that's all. Because y'all remember when Snoop went through his auntie stage where he was always on the phone, always because you know people are watching you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like we probably won't do it because we don't have that many people watching us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But these people, it's addictive. Like just like attention can be so addictive. It's like, dude, you already getting enough attention anyway. Yeah. People listen to your music, people watch movies that you're in, but these people want attention and it's very addictive. And if they feel like they have control of the attention, you know what I'm saying? They feel like it's what I'm saying right now in this moment. That's addictive.
But that's why I appreciate like artists like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, because it's like you don't hear from these dudes until they drop. You know, I don't ever like Kendrick Lamar just dropped the supposed diss track towards Drake. He dropped it, ain't said nothing, but everybody's in a frenzy about it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And he still hasn't came out and said nothing, responded. Like people like Eminem. You know, he very rarely gets on. So it's just like Jay-Z is just like sometimes you just whoever these people's PR people like they have excellent PR people so.
Yeah, no, it's all staged too sometimes, you know. You see some of these beefs
till they go to jail.
It's all staged to get to F1.
Go to jail like what's his name? Short guy.
Tory Lanez.
Oh, yeah. Because I felt like at the beginning it was like all of this is staged, all this is nothing, and then because the way he was incriminating himself. Yeah. So I felt like a lot of it was staged when he was talking about, and he was like always, what I say, when you get a phone and you get addicted to it, you know what I'm saying, you start forgetting about your freedom. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Start forgetting about your freedom. Just like, not to keep talking about it, but Elio, what's his name? Nature Boy.
Oh yeah,
Nature Boy. Nature Boy would not be doing life if he wasn't so addicted to that phone, that camera. He would not be doing life because that camera is very addictive. Tell the truth. I want both of y'all to. Well, not really you because your personality ain't like that. But have you ever had a camera and you see a lot of people watch you and you just felt like this? Dude, I do stand up. I do comedy shows. I remember the one show my manager was like, I want you to do an hour. I'm like, I could never do an hour.
I'd be too nervous.
Never do an hour. Then I saw how everybody was reacting. The fact that everybody, and I was just like, because of that attention, I did like an hour and 20 minutes because of that attention. Sometimes attention gets addictive, man.
Yeah, no, it is an addictive quality. That's why they got TMZ.
Yeah,
that's why TMZ, millionaires.
That's why I could never be on a reality show because they'd kick me off because I'd be so boring. They'd be like, man, he's boring. Like, get him out of there.
Right. Bro, I'm just trying to play
like you are on Thought OPPS.
Yeah. like, get him out of here. He's boring.
Yeah, I could never be on a reality TV show either. Could I? Yeah. All right, let's see. We're going to have the next topic. Thank you. Anything else you got to say?
No, we'll see what happens with
let's just see what's going on.
What's going on with P. Diddy, Puffy, Brother Love, whatever his name is.
His ass went to the islands
this week.
Yeah, island boy.
No, he's still here.
He didn't leave?
That was Florida, I think. But he's still here. He's not leaving. This is the final portion of the show, and Eric gets to talk a lot. My back hurt, man. I'm getting old.
Man, that back problem's real.
Yeah. Huh? I think this jacket too tight.
No!
This jacket hurt my back. Yeah, I've been like this all show. My arm's probably purple. Oh, girl, I'm going to tell her, like, why you made me like... No, I like this jacket, though. It's a very comfortable jacket.
Yeah, it's nice, man.
Yeah, it's very hot.
It's nice, though. It's a nice jacket.
It's funny that she got me to buy this jacket this time of year. Because
you have to put away next
right, I probably would get like one or two more wears out of this jacket. And then she got me to buy this today.
Yeah, I like that hoodie. But
1 or 2 more wears for the year.
It's always hoodie weather in Ohio.
And by next year, I'll be going to the gym in it.
Yeah. Workout hoodies. That's the best, though. That's the best.
Yeah, so we're at the featured topic portion, and we have 3 featured topics left. So I got to renumber these. This from last week. Don't mind me, y'all. So topic number 1, do we get lost in life trying to find purpose? Topic number 2, redemption from letting someone down. And topic number 3, does cancel culture actually cancel?
Dude, those are good topics, man.
Yeah, I came up with all of them.
No,
dang.
I came up with the first one. He came up with the second one that was kind of boring, and then we came up with the third one together.
Yeah, all of them were good. All of them were good. I don't hate any question.
That was right as I taught him how to read. So.
And man, just go ahead, man. Just come up. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, so like whatever you pick.
Dude, it's a whole bunch in there.
Oh man.
Yeah, you gotta redo that. Dude, you done messed everything up.
Who cares?
Some of them get 2.
Why don't you talk to the people?
Some of the ones from last week.
Why don't you talk to the people while we doing this?
Yeah, what do you want me to talk to the people about? I want to talk to the people about. Go ahead, you say something. Talk to the people, man.
Oh yeah, just keep trying, guys. I know. Post your content. That's all I can tell people.
Yeah. Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Follow us on YouTube at. Oh yeah, we just made an Instagram page.
Yeah.
And we just made a TikTok page too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard.
Is TikTok dead? Is TikTok dying?
No, it's
before they shut it down.
You want to know why it's hard to do this stuff? Because I'm the only one doing the social media. Because Eric don't do the social media stuff.
You seem low key. Yeah,
he barely do his own page.
I mean, I have a clothing line. I barely even do my clothing.
Yeah, he barely do. He don't do nothing. So it's like
I'll have to cop something.
Yeah, I barely even do that.
So I actually haven't had a problem doing it. It's just that on Fridays it's hard to do it because I'm always not at home and I do it on my iPad. So it's kind of like
yeah, I usually pick it like 3 days, right? 3 days out of the week. That's half, right? And my high days, and what I did was I posted, I try to post every day for a certain amount of time, and I figured out which has the spikes.
Okay.
All right, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are my highest spikes.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna leave Monday, Friday, Saturday, and only leave Sunday to random posts.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If I need to do something like, oh, I'm gonna miss a day or something, you know, I got Sunday to kind of back me up. So, and how I think of it is like, you know, you feed the baby birds. You know, baby birds are always hungry. And the baby birds are little content goblins that want your content, and you're feeding them content consistently, so eventually it can fly away and maybe bring you back some good stuff.
Okay.
You know.
Hey, free game. He just gave y'all free game.
Yeah, always. I'm always about it. Hit me up.
You know what's funny? Remember I told you, because I was on the phone with you when I told you that people were talking about me at the alumni weekend. So I posted a comment about that. Did you start reading the comments? Like people like, we were talking good about you. I feel so bad now because it was like you were a big part of my college experience. Why? Yeah.
Well, I don't know why them people lying. Why them people lying? So y'all ain't gotta lie.
You got crazy with it. But like, I know you were talking good. But everybody was like, oh, you're a great guy. He's the best guy around.
They were talking about how drunk I used to get. But go ahead.
Dang. All right. I'll go middle.
Let's see what topic we gonna.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
Please don't be number 2.
No, it's 1.
Topic number 1.
Okay. Topic number 1.
Do we get lost in life trying to find purpose?
That was my topic. It's so deep.
Go ahead.
You want me to start?
Yeah, start it off.
Like sometimes we do get lost in life trying to find purpose because sometimes we lose the idea of what we're doing and like enjoying what we're doing, to where it's kind of like we make too much out of like, well, I'm supposed to be doing this because the energies and all, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we add too much, not even just superficial. Sometimes we add too much spiritual to things that is going to have spirituality added to it anyway. Like you, like for instance, like us doing the show. You know what I'm saying? We doing it, we enjoying it, we talk about different topics and stuff, but then we could get lost in the whole thing because we're like, but like, what's the purpose? We got to find like certain make it too structural. We're trying to find the purpose, but then the thing is, the purpose is already finding itself. If that makes sense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
See, I'm gonna agree with you and disagree with you a little bit, right?
That's
and
what Thought OPPS is about.
Yeah, that's why I love it, right? I feel I have like, what do they say, like golden retriever energy or whatever. But I feel like for me, like my purpose in life, right, is to 1, save some animals, 2, right, make it good for my community and the people that support me. And 3, to always create art. So I feel like if I don't have those, then what's the point of my life? You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't have those purposes, right, there's no point in me being here on this earth. I've already done my job, right? Which I hope I never do, right? Because I'm always chasing a better me, right? But at the same time, like, that's one of my goals is always be better the next day. Yeah. So if I don't have that purpose, then, like, send me off and put me to space or something, dude. Yeah. But that being said, though, I'm a very go-with-the-flow guy, man. I don't really go in with, like, structures or guidelines. Sometimes I'm just like, let's go. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's get it.
But sometimes you find yourself guided towards your purpose without putting too much emphasis on it. Yeah. Because sometimes your purpose is naturally who you are. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then sometimes you're trying to like over-structure this purpose, but you've been living your purpose because it's something that's either like part of it's genetically given to you, part of it is just like practice anyway. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we put too much emphasis on this whole purpose that we have that we misguide ourselves to like even become depressed about trying to find a purpose.
Yeah, I agree because I have a big problem with that. That is something I struggle with, is me just trying to find my purpose. And sometimes I look back at, some of the opportunities that I missed out on in life. I know people always say, "Oh, you shouldn't live with regrets." Sometimes I think about, dang, I should have did this way. I would probably be in a better position than what I am now. And I think with nowadays, there's so many influences when it comes to you trying to find your purpose. You try to compare your life to other people's life. You try to compare your timing to other people's timing. And especially with like social media and trying to see what other people are doing, it's hard to try to, you know what I'm saying? You could get lost in that, and it's just like, what is really my purpose? Like, what am I really supposed to do? And I'm learning to just, like how you said, just go with the flow, and like I try to.
I feel like a big, not to cut you off, but I feel like a big part of your purpose is how you are with your son.
Yeah, and that's how I look at it. I look at it sometimes like, well, maybe my purpose is to build a foundation for my son to, be who he is, so he could continue. Yeah. I'm joking. I'm almost in the fourth quarter anyway. But it's just like, man, you made me.
No, go ahead. You're just starting. Man.
Yeah, but it's just like, that's what I was about to say. So I try to sit back and I try to reevaluate my life, like throughout the years or whatever. And it's just like, I look at like where I was at last year, and it's just like, man, I've come a long way from where I was at last year. Mm-hmm. And just like how you said, one of my purposes, I'm like, I've never thought like, I do community outreach. I'm out in the community. I'm helping people. So I was like, well, maybe one of my purposes is to help other people. Is for me to be a person to talk to lend that kind word, or to get that word of advice or whatever. Maybe that's my purpose, is just to to help other people.
One of the best. Go ahead.
You have a good voice, actually. You have a good voice.
One of the best feelings I ever had in life is when I did something for somebody else and didn't expect nothing in return.
Yeah.
And then when I got something in return and didn't even expect to get nothing in return, and it ain't even nothing monetary. Mm-hmm. It's just like I was overcome with joy and overcome with gratitude, because sometimes the best things that you get in life is free.
Yeah.
I don't mean to sound too cliche.
No, it's true.
Yeah, and plus, like, when somebody told me, because I'm so used, like, I am a giving person. I'm so used to giving and doing stuff for people, like, when people return the favor, I feel weird. Like, I feel like if somebody give me a gift or,
dude, when I first got cool with this dude, and he'll come up here and I'll be like, you need some water? He'd be like, act like I'm like, I'm gonna want something, like, I'm just giving you water, dude.
Yeah, it's just like,
but he know that. I guess he see that we're both givers.
Yeah, and I'm not used to, and somebody had to sit down and talk to me. They was like, you need to realize that when you do that, you offend people, because people are doing this as a good gesture.
Think about the food. Yeah. The food, was that 4th of July?
Oh yeah.
He was like weirded out that he asked for some food from the 4th of July for my family. He was like, can I get some food? And then my family is givers, right? They don't care. So when Eric asked for some food, and I told my mother, and then they said, "Oh, this for Eric." It's like, move out the way. You make it play. You know what I'm saying? Because my family.
He over here like weird.
No, he wasn't even there, but it was I was bringing because it's Jamaican food.
Oh, so less.
Yeah, so my mom and the people, they like, move. We gonna make the play. They gave him a lot of food because they're naturally giving people. But sometimes some people are not raised by love. They're raised by survival. Yeah. So sometimes those people are not givers based on that. Now, it doesn't make them bad people. Mm-hmm. No, sometimes it's just who is created by circumstance. Yeah. Is that those things, their circumstances created who they are. I'm not gonna say they're bad, because bad is relative. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so sometimes, sometimes we'd be like, well, my moral compass don't work that way, but that hasn't been that person's experience. Yeah. And I'm not trying to what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not trying to defend the bad behavior. Yeah. But sometimes these things happen because people don't know better.
Yeah, that was the upbringing. That's how
that was the upbringing. Because I've known people like that.
Yeah. So what I'm learning to do and what I'm training myself to do, because it's always, life is always about training yourself and learning how to do things differently. It's like every day is just like, what's my purpose for that day?
One day at a time.
Yeah, just one day at a time. Like, what's my purpose for that day? And try not to think about the future, what the future holds. I mean, it's hard. I do think, I do get into that mode where man, I could be in a better situation. It's like sometimes, you feel like you have life figured out, and then all of a sudden something happened, and it knock you backwards. And man, I should be in a different space than what I'm at now. But I'm training myself, and I'm learning day by day. Man, what's my purpose for the day? Mm-hmm. So let me work on that, and then just whatever the next day.
Because I had to really. I saw something on somebody's page that I went to college with, and she said, and I feel like this girl was talking to me. Yeah. She said to have ops, the word ops, not
opponent.
Like, people like that. My ops. She like that's childish.
Yeah.
To still looking like I have an ops. I have like she like that's childish. And I looked at it and I was like, people that I have, like even people professionally that I've had like opposition with, and we don't work together no more. That you just get to the point where they don't exist no more. You know what I'm saying? Because those are sometimes you're not finding your purpose or you're not finding where you want to be because you hold on to things that have happened to you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta move forward. Just like moving forward with doing resentment. Yeah. I'm not thinking about nothing from the past or nothing like that. It's like I'm doing this right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at nobody. I ain't got no beef with nobody. I ain't nobody be talking about nobody behind their back. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes you gotta just recognize that to be mature is to not be super emotional. Yeah. Because kids are super emotional. Yeah. But go ahead, you were saying something.
Well, I was gonna say that's a great point. Sometimes with character, I make sure that I judge them based on their character. You know what I'm saying? If we're hanging out and you're kind, I'm gonna roll with you every day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But if we're hanging out and let's say you slap like someone's hand out was asking for money, even though you can say it the nice way, no, I'm broke or something or no, but have a nice day, be safe. Yeah. Or they do something that's on set where you're like, yo, like that's some weird stuff. Like I ain't messing with him. Like Dan Schneider, if I saw that stuff, well, I was like, I'd be like, yo, bro, that ain't cool. I ain't coming back. You know what I'm saying?
Can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah, of course.
That's my buddy. True story. I was, where Independence at, right?
Yeah.
I was in Independence, and I had been into a car accident. I had just graduated from and I was in a coma for 7 days. I made it through it, and I had just got paid. I was working this job, just got paid, and this lady asked me for some money because she was crying. She just lost her house. Yeah. Her husband just lost his job, and she was crying. She was there crying, and I had just got paid, and I had just graduated from college, and I ain't had that much money. I gave her $100.
Yeah.
2 years later, I was at that same gas station. I saw a lady with the same story. Her husband stood at the job and just asked me for some money with the same tears. And just found out he has whoever had.
There's always something.
Dude, do you not cuss her out so bad?
See, what I do now is I carry cigarettes. I'm gonna put you all on, right? I'm from, like I said, from being from the hood, you learn all the stories and everything else. Like, I feel bad, but I ain't gonna give you my money. I worked hard for that. Yeah. I've been broke, but I carry cigarettes because back in when I was a troubled kid, right? Cigarettes was a currency.
Okay. Yeah.
So normally the people who don't bake it, they trouble kids too. I'll be like, no, but I got a cigarette, right? And they're like, yeah. You know what I mean? They'll take the cigarette, and I ain't losing. What? The cigarette's $10 a pack. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they leave you alone, right? So that's the rule. Hey.
That was a learning lesson for me. It was like that lady.
Same. I had the same experience. I was like,
dude, that was crazy. It was the same lady. And when I started, you could just tell by the looks on her face that the tears went back up, and she was like, "Oh my God, I should have never did this again."
Well, maybe that was her purpose. Her purpose was to get $100 from as many people as she could.
You never know, though. You probably helped her. Yeah. You probably helped her out though, maybe she was scamming, but she probably fed her kid or something, You don't know. It ain't up to us to judge.
That lady lied so much, I didn't even think she had kids.
She hit that. She you hit that crank pipe. You know what I'm saying? That crank.
And then it was like I didn't recognize her at first because you could just tell she'd been doing a lot.
Yeah, the pipe.
That
little.
But I just want to end it on
Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I just want to end it on we all struggling, we all have issues, we all dealing with stuff. So, don't get on social media and just expect everybody or think everybody has just a good, perfect life, even though they put on that facade and everything. We all dealing.
We all going through something, man.
And just work and just try to find your purpose day by day.
And I'm gonna end it with this. I was watching Philip Wheaton. I was watching when we interviewed him, and he said something that really made sense. He said when people come to his gym, he makes sure that his service is the best because people come to the gym and people do stuff because everybody is going through something.
Yeah.
And that's why they're there. So everybody is going through something. So watch how you treat people. Watch how, you know what I'm saying? Watch, because you don't want to be somebody running around having to apologize to everybody. Because sometimes them apologies ain't even accepted no more.
Yeah.
Any last thing you got to say?
Just be kind. You know what I'm saying? Like, take the time, understand that, hey, life ain't perfect. It ain't perfect for anybody, right? Even Diddy. Bring it back. Even Diddy, a multi-millionaire, now he's struggling.
A multi-billionaire?
Billionaire, but he's not anymore.
He's not was he a multi-billionaire? Was he more than 2 point? Yeah, but whatever, man.
Well, more money than I've never even. I ain't even seen. I haven't even seen 10, double digits. Yeah,
You got anything you want to say, man? Anybody you want to shout out or?
Yeah, no, just be kind and be safe, everybody. Keep on grinding.
And we like to thank you for joining us on Thought OPPS.
Thank you.
Spending your time with us this Friday, man. We appreciate you.
You got to sign this board.
Of course, I was looking at all the cool people that have been here.
We gotta take the picture and everything. But we want to thank y'all for viewing another episode. This is episode 49.
Is it?
Yeah, because 50 is tomorrow. Because we're taking a break after 50. So we take a break after 50.
Vacation from this dude.
Yeah, so what we're gonna so we're gonna be showing old episodes and stuff. No, we're gonna be trying to revamp and restructure the show. But we already booking people.
And look out for the cast of Resentment. We'll be
posting them soon. Okay, so y'all have a good rest of y'all day.
Peace.